We're here with Steven Baumgartner, CEO of the Cybergroup, and he took the initiative to build a wonderful museum. It's called MOPA in the PSI. Steven, can you tell us a bit about how our industry started?
So we really dived into the deep history, and so we really dived into Egypt, Greece, so the deep history. But there's a bit of a start, and it's 1789 with George Washington, and you can maybe hear him in the back, because he made more or less the first promotional item. It was for the election. It was for the soldiers. It was a pin badge button. Vote for George Washington. And that is, for us, a bit like an anchor where we say, okay, that's a bit of a starting. And we also made a replica. You can see it here in the museum. So it's straight behind you, over there.
Let me see it.
So we made a replica one. And that's, for us, the first piece where we say, okay, that's something we can really feel. And our industry is about haptic. So feel it and enjoy it. So we made a replica out of it, and from here we start with the history of it, and we end up in room 11, or we call them the time capsules, with the future. So it's from really the deep part up to the future.
Okay, the deep art is really interesting. Can you take us through another room where you have the feeling, okay, this is really important for our industry, and then we go to the future. Is that all right with you?
But let's switch around, because there's a funny side note over there. So do you know what that is? Do you have any idea what it is?
No. I can see pie, so...
Yeah, it's a pie pan, so it's something where you bake a pie, but it's the first ever Frisbee. So it's from the American Pie Company. They gave the pie to the students, and they turn it after they have eaten the pie. Obviously, they turn it around, and they figured out, hey, you can throw it. And so that's the first Frisbee ever, and it's an original one we bought in the US. So it's an original piece.
That's really cool, and it's really the first Frisbee.
Yep, yeah, it's the first one, and then out of that one they invented the shape of the Frisbee is still the same, but today it is made out of plastic, of course. But that's the first Frisbee ever. Also the story of a lanyard. What do you think? You're out of the industry. What do you think when the lanyard was invented?
I have really no idea, but I would guess like in the 80s or something.
Exactly what I was, 70s, 80s, and I thought it is a promotional item, so it was invented to make promotion. Back to the pirates and the soldiers. They have used it to really lock their guns and the weapons not to get lost of. So that was something, and you can see it over there. So we created a room, a capsule for lanyards as well, and the main topic is pirates, because it is back to the pirates. So there is a deep history, more or less on every category, and also here the Swedish matches. Matches was in the past a big deal. It's one of the oldest original one we got from the Swedish Match Museum in Jönköping in Sweden. So it's from 1904. You can see it in one of the rooms. So we have real old stuff as well. Not only replicas, but a lot of old stuff as well. Also merchandise. We try to figure out when merchandise started. So promotional items where a fan will pay for. That's merchandise for us. And it was... Today you do merchandise to promote a tour, a film, whatever. The first merchandise was the other way around. There is the movie Wizard of Oz, might have heard of.
Yeah, sure.
And you have the helpers in the movie. They're wearing these green shirts with the Oz in front. And after the movie, there were so many people asking for it if they can buy it. And then the production company made a decision, yeah, let's produce it and let's sell it. So it was totally the other way around, and that was the beginning, which would figure out, of merchandise. Here we made a lot of replica items from the baseball caps. Obviously, baseball caps is out of the US sport of baseball. We start in 1860 with wool in a sport by 40 degrees, maybe not a good idea. Then it ended up at a polyester one, and today, and this is what we show over here, on the right one is the old word in polyester, and the other one is RPET. We're coming to one of the oldest original ones, I already mentioned it. This is all from the Swedish Match Museum, so they gave it to us. I signed for it personally, and here we have one of the oldest ones. It's the Strand Hotel Stockholm. That's from 1904, 1906, something like that. And there's the bag done by Jasper Meek.
That's this one, huh?
Yeah, that's that one here. And let's go behind.
Yep.
Maybe that's a good one. So you can see here, that's Jasper Meek. Also back in the 1886, so quite a long time ago. And he was a newspaper printer. And he watched the school kids every morning walking to the school, and they had no bags. They had just had the books, and they had ropes around, and he watched them always falling down. And he was like, hey, let's give them something where they can put it in. So he created a bag. Then he asked the shoemaker if he wanted to put his logo on it, because if they walk to the school every morning, that could be a good advertising. And that was the first, so he's more or less the father of promotional items.
So, according to the music and the sounds, where are we in the future?
We are in the future. We call it a future room, but indeed it is not a future because it is real. We're talking about NFC technology, cloud technology, metaverse merchandise. So that's the end of the museum. So the real end is at the MOPA shop for sure, because every museum will end up in a shop and in the cafe. But here we want to show what the future is about. And but again, it is already in the market because we have all these stuff. We have cloud technology. We are using QR codes. We are using NFC, AI, and so on. But we wanted to show that we're already doing it. And yeah, that's a bit of a future. You can hear it in the back. Now it's a bit more quiet. But it will get more soundy in a second, so more noisy. Yeah, so it's, again, it's to show what we're already doing, and we named it the Future Room.
Steven, this museum, it's a pop-up museum. I think it's a shame, because it would be nice to have it all year round somewhere. Are there plans to do something like that?
We're discussing. So we're discussing together with PSI if we maybe can get a place wherever in Germany or at the end, but it's more about, let's say, the industry, because there are so many companies and they're asking for, but at the end of the day, someone has to fundraise it because it will cost money. But yeah, we're in discussion. We will also, we're discussing about to bring it to other countries.
Maybe to Holland, to one of our fairs. Why not?
Maybe, it's up to you. Feel free. No, we are happy. So we will archive everything. So it's not so for us, it's the beginning. It's not the end, it's the beginning. And it's a start. And also all the different items we show, we hope it will grow. Because we get so many good positive feedback that we say, okay, if you have more stuff to show, please give it to us. And there are so many people, they have really historical stuff at home. And they say, hey, I have it at home. I have absolutely no idea what to do with it, but it would be super cool to have it in a museum. So yeah, if there's someone out there who has something from the past and want to get rid of, we will take care of and we will bring it to the MOPA Museum. But yeah, it would be super cool to have something. Maybe we'll bring it on a tour, or we will have a physical place where we can say that's the Museum of Promotional Articles. Again, maybe in Germany, maybe in the Netherlands, maybe I don't know where. Let's see.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.